along with all his Dwaraka Vasis. All the Dwaraka Vasis are also expanded into 16,100 farms. And everyone witnessed every marriage of Lord Krishna with each princess. That is the power of Lord Krishna's Yogamaya. So that is where we stopped, and then we'll continue from there on. Lord Krishna accepted them according to the regulations of marriage. He performed this act by his Yogamaya, or without bewilderment. So that was the verse number 8. We stopped there. And today we'll continue from verse number 9, where there is one more important activity, one more important thing, that Lord Krishna kept all his queens happy. How? Please, someone can unmute and repeat after me. Tashu apatyani ajanayat.
Tashu apatyani ajanyat.
Atmatulyani sarvataha.
Atmatulyani sarvataha.
Ekaikasyam dasha.
Ekaikasyam dasha.
Prakriter vibhu bhushaya.
Prakrute vibhushaya. Translation. Just to expand himself according to his transcendental feature, the Lord begot in each and every one of them 10 offspring with exactly his own qualities.
So, see the interesting thing. With a desire to show his nature in many forms, in each of the queens, he produced 10 sons exactly equal to himself. Later in 10th canto, we see that each and every queen also had one daughter. There were 10 sons and one daughter. And all these sons were non-different from Lord Krishna. They are as beautiful and as powerful as Lord Krishna. That's how he manifested the potency of his Yogamaya. Prakriter vibhushaya means with a desire to show his nature, since it is mentioned that he produced sons who are the same as himself. 10 sons and one daughter through each wife. So thus, there will be no competition and comparison among the queens. So, this is the extent for which Lord Krishna can exhibit his Yogamaya potency. And then, these are all like Lord Krishna's different marriages. And then Lord also had so many battles, the purpose for which he came to reduce the burden of the earth, that he did many times directly, and sometimes he empowered some of his close associates. That is indicated in the next verses. Kalamagada Shalvadin.
Kalamagada Salvadin.
Anikai Rundatapuram.
Anikai Rundatapuram.
Ajiganat Swayam Divyam.
Ajiganat Swayam Divyam.
Swapumsham Teja Adishat.
Swapumsham Teja Adishat. Translation. Kalyavana, the king of Magadha and Salva, attacked the city of Mathura. But when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own man.
Yeah. Lord Krishna alone killed Kalayavana, Jarasandha and Shalva, who had surrounded his city with armies through Muchukunda, Bhima and others. He gave special powers and consequent fame to his devotees. So after the death of Kamsa, Kamsa's two wives, they were the daughters of the two wives were the daughters of Jarasandha. And they went back and informed the father immediately. Our husband was unrighteously killed. Jarasandha became very angry and raised his army collected huge army, about 23 Akshauhini, and raised war against Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna and Balram's small army, whatever army was there at that time in Mathura, they fought and defeated Jarasandha and sent him back. And every year, Jarasandha would again come back for a battle, collecting huge army to fight with Lord Krishna. Like that, every year he defeated him and sent him back. Like that, 17 times he did. On the 18th time, Jarasandha informed Kala Yavana, you attack from north, I will attack from south, so that Krishna can be killed. Understanding this, Lord Krishna, the previous night, shifted the Mathura Vasis to Dwaraka by constructing a new city in the middle of the ocean, known as Dwaraka. So then, first Lord Krishna went towards north to attack Kala Yavana. He went in front of Kala Yavana and fled away from the battlefield, running towards west. And Kala Yavana followed after Krishna. And eventually Lord Krishna entered into a gufa where Muchkunda was resting from so much time. Muchkunda was one of the great kings in the line of Surya dynasty, Surya Vamsha. He was requested by Indra to fight with the Asuras at the side of the Devatas, because I think that was the time Dwaraka was attacking on heaven. So somebody need to defend heaven. And they requested Mother Parvati to beget a son from Lord Shiva, through Lord Shiva. So while Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati begetting son, that Indra asked him, please tell me what you want, what benediction you want. So Muchkunda thought that, no, if I say something else, Indra again might call me back. So please give me the facility that I want to rest. I fought for a long time, I want to take rest. At the same time, somebody comes to disturb me. As soon as I look at them, they should be burnt to ashes. Because Muchkunda also wanted to stay away from any more further battles. So something like that. So Indra gave that blessing and Muchkunda came to his gufa and he was taking rest. Lord Krishna took this Kala Yavana to that place. And Lord Krishna hid himself. Kala Yavana thought that this is Krishna who came all the way here and sleeping here and as if nothing happened. Kala Yavana woke him up and he was burnt to ashes by Muchkunda Maharaj. So it was said like that. The reason why Lord Krishna disagreed with Kala Yavana was Kala Yavana was a demon produced by Gargamuni. At one point of time, some Yadavas insulted Gargamuni. And Gargamuni cursed that you Yadavas will not become victorious in front of a demon, and he is of your fear. You will also afraid of him, and through him you will be humiliated, something like that. He puts a curse. So basically, the experience he went through, he wanted Yadavas also to go through the same experience of humiliation, defeat, etc., etc. So, understanding this, knowing this, Lord Krishna made Kala Yavana to be killed by Muchkunda, because according to the curse of Gargamuni, none of the Yadavas supposed to kill Kala Yavana. He is the cause of the fear for the Yadavas. So Lord Krishna orchestrated the entire thing. So then Muchkunda came out because he was woke up. He came out and saw everything all around. In between, he also met Lord Krishna. He offered prayers unto Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna blessed him. Please go travel at your own will with due renunciation. In your next life, you will go back home back to Godhead. Like that, Lord Krishna told. So he's the same person. So that Muskunda killed Kalayavana, and the same time after delivering Kalayavana, Lord Krishna came to the south side in order to attack and take care of Jarasandha, who was about to attack Mathura. So he again, Jarasandha again, both Krishna and Balaram fled away from the battlefield, and Jarasandha followed him. They climbed onto a mountain known as Parashuravana mountain, I suppose. And Jarasandha lit that mountain on fire. But before that, Lord Krishna and Balaram jumped on the other side of the mountain, and slowly they went to Dwaraka. So like that, 18th time Lord Krishna did not fight either with Kalayavana or with Jarasandha. But eventually Lord Krishna orchestrated the entire event that Bhima will kill Jarasandha. When Rajasuya sacrifice was going on, during that Shishupala was unnecessarily insulted Lord Krishna killed him. Understanding that my friend has been unlawfully killed by Krishna, Shalva immediately attacked on Dwaraka when Krishna was not there. And afterwards, when Krishna came back and he fought with Shalva and killed himself. So, like that, various pastimes are mentioned in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam. You can see Krishna book for more details. So, Lord Krishna alone killed those who surrounded his city with troops. Both Kalayavana and Jarasandha surrounded, even Shalva also, when Krishna was not there and Krishna was in Indraprastha during Raju sacrifice, he surrounded the whole Dwaraka city, but Krishna came and killed him. So Muchkunda killed Kalayavana, Bhima killed Jarasandha, and Krishna himself killed Shalva. He gave power and fame to his devotees, empowering them to kill these formidable demons.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, in this sloka it is written that Kalyavani is the king of Magadha. So Jarasandha is also the king of the Magadha. So it is means same.
No, that could be a printing mistake. Kalayavana was a demon, a Rakshasa. He is not a king of anything. Magadha king is Jarasandha. Yeah. Kalayavana is not part of the human kings. He is actually a Rakshasa.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, when Muchukanda Maharaj killed Kalayavana, but he saw Krishna, because in Krishna book there it is written that he saw Krishna, he worshipped him and all things.
Yes. He offered prayers unto Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna told that, in this life may you wander at will with due renunciation. In your next life you will attain perfection. And he appeared as Pundalik. Lord Krishna himself came to Pandharpur to deliver Pundalik. That is the pastime of Pandarnath.
Okay, so he didn't perfect in that life by seeing Krishna.
No.
Okay.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Kalayavana is the son of Gargamuni, Prabhuji. You told that?
Not Gargamuni. Gargamuni actually, once he was insulted by Yadavas, he said, you are insulting me. I will cut that. There will be you are insulting me because you think that you are the most powerful. Your power also put to stake. There will be a certain demon who will be cause of fear to all of you, and he cannot be killed by any of the Yadavas. So because none of the Yadavas can kill that demon, just following the normal norms, human norms, Lord Krishna did not kill him personally. Instead, he made Muchkunda Maharaj to kill him. So like that. So there is a mention of another asuras, who are the different powerful asuras who are killed by Lord Krishna or some of his close associates. Sambaram Dividambanam
Sambaram Dividambanam
Muram Balavalam Evacha
Muram Balvalam Yevacha
Anyamsha Dantavakradin
Anyamscha Dantavakradi
Avadit Kamsha Gatayat.
Avadit Kamscha Gadayat. Translation. Of kings like Sambara, Jivida, Bana, Mura, Balvala, and many other demons, such as Dantavakra. Some he killed him, and some he caused to be killed by others. Shri Baldev, etc.
After that, of course, Lord Krishna killed or others killed Sambara, Dvivida, Bana, Mura, Balvala, Dantavakra and other demons. After that, he had others kill other kings. Sambara was killed by Pradyumna. Dvivida and Balvala were killed by Balram. Dvivida and Balvala. Banasura was not killed, but Banasura had 1000 arms. So Lord Krishna cut off 9,996 arms. Only 4 arms are left with. And Mura was the commander-in-chief of Narakasura. Lord Krishna killed Mura as well as Narakasura while he was going to heaven. And Balvala was killed by Balramji when he went to Naimisharanya. And Dantavakra, Lord Krishna killed him in Madura. So like that. And many other demons. 10th canto will talk about all the different demons. Here a brief summary is given. Then, the most important thing, Mahabharat battle. Atate Bharataputranam
Atate Bhatraputranam
Pakshayo Patitan Nrupan
Pakshayo Patitan Nrupan
Chachalabu Kurukshetram
Chachalabu Kurukshetram
Esham Apatatam Balai.
Esham Apatatambalai. Then, O Vidura, the Lord caused all the kings, both his enemies and those on the side of your fighting nephews, to be killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. All those kings were so great and strong that the earth seemed to shake as they traversed the war field.
Lord Krishna killed the kings, siding with the sons of your brothers. When they assembled at Kurukshetra, their armies made the whole earth tremble. Lord Krishna killed or had killed other kings, taking the sides of the sons of your brothers. So here the conversation is happening between Uddhava and Vidura. Uddhava is talking to Vidura, and Uddhava is saying that Lord Krishna had others kill the sons of your brothers, had them kill each other, something like that. So who are the brothers of Vidura? One is Pandu, other one is Dhritarashtra. So Pandu's son Yudhishthira heading on one side of the army. Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana was heading on the other side of the army. So whose armies, when the kings assembled at Kurukshetra, made the whole earth tremble. So this is the final battle, Mahabharat battle, wherein both Pandavas and Kauravas were contending and all were killed. All the assembled kings were killed. So now here a couple of verses indicate who were all those people who were killed. Sakarna Dushasana Saubalanam.
You go ahead, Prabhuji. Takarna dushasana shobhalanam
Kumantrapake Natasriyayusham.
Kumantrapakena hatashriya-yusam.
Suyodanam Sanucharam Shayanam.
Suyodanam sanucharam sayanam.
Bhagno Rumurvyam Nananda Pashyan.
Bhagno rumurvyam nananda pashyan. Duryodhana was bereft of his fortune and duration of life because of the intricacy of ill advice given by Karna, Dushasana and Shobhala. When he lay on the ground with his followers, his thighs broken, although he was powerful, the Lord was not happy to see the scene.
Krishna was not pleased seeing Duryodhana lying on the ground with his followers, his legs broken, devoid of splendor, as a result of taking advice from Karna, Dushasana, Saubala and others. So there are two people. On one side Duryodhana is there, other side Yudhishthira Maharaj is there. Lord Krishna was advising Yudhishthira Maharaj, and Duryodhana was advised by Karna, Dushasana and Shakuni. So because Duryodhana followed the advice of these three people, he fell flat with eyes broken, crying piteously. So looking at this scene, Lord Krishna was not at all happy. So this is one meaning of this verse. And the next verse explains why Lord Krishna was not happy. There is one reason why Lord Krishna is not happy looking at the death of Duryodhana, because Duryodhana was given good counsel by many great souls, but he never followed. Instead, he followed the advice of Karna, Dushasana and Saubala, that is Shakuni. As a result of this bad counsel, now he is falling flat on the earth with thighs broken, bleeding and rowing. So looking at this jiva in this material world is so pitiably troubled and going through misery. Lord was not happy at all. And there is another reason why Lord Krishna was not happy at this point of time. Because of this battle, about 18 Akshauni Sena has been destroyed. And so many religious kings who were ruling over different kingdoms, they also been destroyed in this battle. In one sense, all the Kshatriya rulers are destroyed in this battle of Kurukshetra. There is no one left in one sense.
पाणी पण पितो.
So only those people who remained on the surface of the earth, the Kshatriyas, were Lord Krishna's associates, the Dwaraka Vasis. That gave Lord Krishna again kind of remorse. So that is what is explained in the next verse. All the warriors somehow or other took part in this battle and they all died. But the Yadavas somehow or other, because of the destiny, they could not take part in this battle. They are still remaining. They also need to be removed from the surface of the earth. So now Lord Krishna is thinking, how will they be separated from the surface of the earth? How will they removed from the surface of the earth? So that thing also gave Lord Krishna a kind of remorse. That is explained in the next two verses. 14 and 15 verses talk about how to remove the huge army of the Yadavas, the most powerful warriors on the surface of the earth. They are still remaining. They also need to be separated from the surface of the earth. That also gave Krishna a kind of what a kind of anxiety came to Lord Krishna. So it is like that. Kiyan bhuvoyam kshipito Rubharo.
Kiyan bhuvoyam kshipito Rubharo.
Yadrona Bhishma Arjuna Bhima Mulai.
Yadrona Bhishma Arjuna Bhima Mulai.
Ashtadashakshahuni Komadamsher.
Ashtadashakshahuni Komadamsher.
Aste balam durvihasam yadunam.
Aste balam durvisham yadunam. After the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, the Lord said, the the abandonment of the earth's great burden, 18 Akshonis has now been effected with the help of Drona, Bhishma, Arjun, and Bhima. But what is this? There is still the great strength of the Yadu dynasty, born of myself, which may be a more unbearable burden.
The burden of the earth caused by the 18 Akshoni Senas formed by Drona and Bhishma. Drona and Bhishma were the commander-in-chiefs from the side of Kauravas. Arjuna and Bhima, the great warriors from the side of the Pandavas. Under their direction, Drishtadyumna acted as the commander-in-chief of Pandavas, has only been slightly reduced. So the removal of the 18 Akshoni Sena along with the leaders, here Uddhava is, Lord Krishna is thinking that it is only a small burden removed from the surface of the earth. It is not so much. Why? Because the intolerable strength of the Yadus still remains because of my portions such as Pradyumna. All the powerful warriors are killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. But the most powerful warriors among all the different warriors, that was Yadus, they are still alive. They are not removed. In compared to the Yadavas, the other kings are all insignificant. Only the insignificant portion is removed. But still good amount of portion is still remaining. So Lord Krishna is thinking about how to remove them from the surface of the earth. The great burden of the earth consisting of 18 Akshonis caused by Drona, Bhishma, Arjuna, Bhima had been reduced only to a small degree. The burden of the earth was reduced only a little because the intolerable strength of the Lord's portion such as Pradyumna still remains. The Yadus are still remaining. So they are the big burden on the surface of the earth. So Lord Krishna was thinking that how to remove them. So he was in dilemma. The burden of the earth is not produced by the abundance of the oceans and mountains, but rather by the predominance of irreligious persons. Lord decreased such irreligious persons. So all the irreligious persons are removed, but there are the Yadavas are still there. They are not religious, but who they are, why Lord Krishna is worried about their removal will be explained in the next two verses. But they are still there. So Lord Krishna is thinking about how to, by doing what, these Yadavas can be slowly removed from the surface of the earth. That was the anxiety of Lord Krishna. One cannot say that Yadavas were irreligious since they are the eternal associates of the Lord. This is understood from the law following verses. Later on in the end of this chapter and the beginning of the next chapter, it is mentioned that Yadavas are dedicated to service to Go Brahmana Hitayacha, like Lord Krishna. Brahmanyanam Vadanyanam Nityam Urdhopa Sevinam Viprashapa Katam Abhut Vrishninam Krishna Chetsam. I think this is a question asked by Parishit Maharaj unto Sukadeva Goswami. How is it that how could the Brahmanas curse the Vrishnis who are always respectable to the Brahmanas, charitable and inclined to serve seniors and whose minds were always absorbed in Lord Krishna? So these are the pure devotees and eternal associates of Lord Krishna. How could they were cursed by the Brahmanas? Because they are always respectable to the Brahmanas. So Parishit Maharaj asked a question unto Sukadeva Goswami at the beginning of the 11th canto. And the 11th canto talks about all that, how the Yadus were removed from the surface of the earth. That entire chapter is all about that only. Then another qualities of the Yadavas is mentioned. Sayyasa nata na lapa krida snanasa nadishu na vidu santam atmanam vrishna krishna cheshtaya. So it is said that absorbed in Lord Krishna while sleeping, sitting, walking, speaking, playing, bathing and eating, the Yadavas did not know that they existed. For the Yadavas, they are not worried about themselves. They are only concerned about Lord Krishna. Whatever they do, they always constantly think of Lord Krishna only. And that kind of Yadavas, how could they disrespect Brahmanas? How could they be cursed by the Brahmanas? ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? How could they fight among themselves? This was the question asked by Parikshit Maharaj. The burden is of two types. Here it is mentioned. The burden on the surface of the earth is of two types. One is suffering. One burden causes suffering. Other burden causes happiness. The first is difficult to tolerate. That's why Mother Earth immediately complained to Lord Brahma. She cannot tolerate the asuras, the kings. And the second is easy to tolerate. It is the burden of happiness. The examples of the second type of burden are the affectionate mother carrying her child. The child, sometimes the children are very heavy, but still the mother carries. She does not feel the burden. Or the merchant carrying his wealth on his head. A merchant, he carries the wealth on his head. He does not feel burden of that. So like that. But weak person cannot even carry these happy burdens, which are heavier than themselves. If the person is weak, even though they are burden of happiness, they may not be able to carry. But the person who is interested in them, even though he is weak, still carry them. Even the earth could not tolerate the weight of the great devotee Dhruva, who became immensely heavy because of his austerities. Later on, when we come to 4th canto, we'll see that while Dhruva Maharaj standing on one leg while he was performing severe austerities for a period of 6 months. So when he stopped breathing in the 6th month, he became so heavy that the entire Bhumandala came down to a distance of Pradesha Matram, about 6 inches. It came down. It is said like that. Bhagavatam 4th canto, chapter 8. So even Dhruva Maharaj also, while he performed the tapasya, he became so heavy, the earth could not tolerate his heavy weight. Similarly here, even though they may be very pleasurable, the sun's weight is pleasurable to mother and wealth is pleasurable to the merchant, but a weak person may not be able to carry. So Mother Earth is like a weak person, cannot carry the burden of the Yadavas, who are pleasing but very heavy. She cannot carry for long. So Lord Krishna wanted to remove them from the surface of the earth. When the Lord shows his power, no one can bear the weight of the great bliss that manifests. Thus, Bhishma says, so if there are some examples, even Lord also sometimes exhibits unlimited power. His weight also increases. Bhishma says in one of the previous chapters in the 1st canto, fulfilling my desire and sacrificing his own promise, Lord Krishna got down from the chariot of Arjuna, took up the chariot wheel and ran towards me hurriedly, just as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He even dropped his outer garments on the way. So during that time also, as Lord Krishna was moving towards Bhishma very fast, the earth was trembling, unable to tolerate the weight of Lord Krishna. There is another example. Last week only we celebrated Narasimha Chaturthi. When Lord Narasimhadev appeared, also there is a mention about this. The Mother Earth trembled, unable to tolerate the weight of Lord Narasimha. The sky filled with airplanes dislocated by his flying mane, and the earth as well, afflicted by his feet, slipped from their position. Mountains sprang up his force, and the sky and the directions lost their luster because of his effulgence. So this was the gigantic appearance of Lord Narasimhadev, because of which everything was going either and either, scattered here and there. So like that. Thus, the burden of the Yadavas should not be considered a burden of the earth in the sense of causing suffering. It is similar to the following situation. It is a burden, but a burden of love. But still, it is a heavy burden. Mother Earth could not tolerate. So it is like this. Though ornaments are heavy burden for a young woman, the weight of the ornaments are put temporarily on her limbs during the festivals. So during the festivals, the women are decorated with all the jewelry. The jewelry, in essence, they are also heavy. Sometimes because of the more jewelry, they feel heavy burden. This is always done according to the circumstances. May not be nowadays, you may not see people wearing so much wealth and all, but in the dramas, if you see, the women wear a lot of jewelry in the dramas, especially. Dramas such as Ramayana, Mahabharata and all, we see them wearing a lot of jewelry. But that is temporarily, even though it is heavy, but since it is gold, they wear it. If it is of some other material, they will not wear it. So in that way. Thus the Devatas, who had entered by their amshas into the forms of the Yadavas, who were eternal associates to the Lord, left from Dwaraka and disappeared at Prabhasa, while the eternal associates remained invisible in Dwaraka. So Lord thought about how to remove them, and eventually Lord orchestrated a big pastime which will be mentioned in the later part of this chapter. And all the Devatas who incarnated in the family of Yadus in order to assist Lord Krishna in his pastimes, they were all taken to Prabhas, and from there they were all sent to heaven by Lord Krishna. So that pastime will be narrated at the end of this chapter. So it is like that. So this is how Lord Krishna was in anxiety, how to remove the burden of the Yadavas. Because they are also big burden, though they are burden of love, but they are still burden. So like that. So then Lord Krishna thought, okay, this is the way I will remove the Yadavas from the surface of the earth. He made a plan then and there. In the Kurukshetra battle itself, he made a plan how to remove the Yadavas. Mito yadaisham bhavita vida vivado. Madvat madatma data mara vilochananam. Naisham vadupaya iyanatonyo. Mayudyatentar dadade swayam sma.
मयि उद्यते अंतर्धाते स्वयं स्मा. When they quarrel among themselves, influenced by intoxication, with their eyes red like copper, because of drinking madhu, then only they will disappear. Otherwise, it will not be possible. On my decision, this incident will take place.
So Lord Krishna is thinking that there is no other kings who are as powerful as the Yadavas who can kill the Yadavas in the battle. The only way to remove them from the surface of the earth is that if they can kill each other. So like that, he was preparing a plan. Like that they can be removed from the surface of the earth. When they will quarrel among themselves with eyes red because of complete intoxication from drinking liquor, they actually will not die. Na esham vada upaya. Though they will appear to die like the others. Only when I decide that they disappear, they will disappear spontaneously. See, for the external world to accept, the Yadavas are like any other human beings. Lord Krishna is like any other human being. The reason will be explained in the 11th canto. Why Lord Krishna allowed this Mausal Leela take place, the fratricidal war between the Yadavas among themselves, and Jara shooting an arrow at Lord Krishna, and eventually people say that Lord Krishna was killed by Jara under etc. That is all just to start Kali Yuga. Because while Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling over the entire Jambudipa at the end of Dwapara Yuga, though it was end of Dwapara Yuga where Kali Yuga was about to start, but the entire atmosphere was like that of Satya Yuga. During those 35 years while Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling, and eventually the next 25 years when Parikshit Maharaj was ruling, those 60 years was like the Satya Yuga tenure. But Lord Krishna wanted to begin Kali Yuga immediately. So Kali Yuga only begins if people start committing offense against the Supreme Lord and his devotees. In order to facilitate that, Lord Krishna orchestrated this Maushala Leela, wherein he created a scene that the Yadavas drank wine and fought among themselves and killed each other. And in that fight, Lord Krishna himself killed so many Yadavas. Then he sat on the bank of the Saraswati river. One hunter, thinking Krishna's lotus feet to be a deer, shoot an arrow, and being pierced by that arrow, Krishna left his body. And hearing this, accepting this, people say that the less intelligent people will say that, okay, Krishna is one among us. He is also like a human being like all of us. The Yadavas are also like, what kind of Yadavas are they? Devotees? If they are devotees, why would they drink wine? And then why would they fight among themselves? And it went to the extent that they killed each other indiscriminately. What kind of devotees are they? Saying that they lose faith upon Bhagavan and devotees and Bhakti, and then they will give rise to Adharma and Kali Yuga. So Lord Krishna orchestrated the entire pastime. For that to happen, it all happens. But actually what happens is, it actually did not happen. The Maushala Leela did not happen. It is only a scene shown to the great sages so that they will compare in the literatures and that will be spread across. But actually what happened will be mentioned in the next verses, all the way up to next chapter, 3rd verse. By Lord Krishna's desire, with the due permission, the Devatas who appeared among the Yadavas, they went back to Svargaloka without any fight. The fight is only an illusory scene created so that the sages will see it and write it in the scriptures, and people will be bewildered in the upcoming Kali Yuga, to start Kali Yuga. So that was the whole thing. So, but they actually will not die like that. Na esham vada upayaha. So Lord Krishna had orchestrated this plan, but they will not follow this. So we'll see what exactly it means. The Yadavas cannot be destroyed like others. Just like here in the Kurukshetra battle, the Pandavas and Kauravas fought among themselves and one was killing the other. The one king is killing other king, like that it went. But yeah, let the Yadavas also go through a similar kind of situation, because Gandhari cursed, not just the way my family members are killed each other. Your family members also may be killed each other, may be killing each other after 36 years. Due to Gandhari cursed. So accepting Gandhari curse, and Lord Krishna Lord Krishna made this plan before Gandhari could curse Lord Krishna. Because he was making this plan looking at Duryodhana. Afterwards only Lord Krishna and all the Pandavas goes to Hastinapur. That is where Gandhari curses Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna was smiled simply. Whatever I thought is already put into action. It is happening. So in one sense, Paramatma inspired Gandhari to say that, so that external people will believe it firmly. Okay, Gandhari cursed. So Yadava was supposed to be killing each other. So happened, it is happened. How can you say it is not? So like that. So all these things happened only to start Kali Yuga. Just like today morning in the Bhagavatam class also we are hearing from His Grace Nandulal Prabhu that Yadruchaya Daiva Chodita, by the transcendental will of Lord Krishna, Parikshit Maharaj, who in general very much respectable to the Brahmanas, garlanded Shemika Rishi with a dead snake, feeling thirsty and anger and feeling disrespected, etc. That was all by the will of the Lord. Externally it happened so and so, but that was not the nature of Parikshit Maharaj. But ultimately what was the result? The Bhagavatam was made available to one and all through the medium of Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit Maharaj himself went back to Godhead. There was no offense involved in that act. So, like that. So, similarly here, these are all great devotees. So, Lord Krishna had to orchestrate some way so that Kali Yuga will begin by seeing faults in great devotees. So, like that. So, the Yadavas cannot be destroyed like others, the way Gandhari predicted. They must be destroyed only among themselves. When there will be a quarrel among the Yadavas, whose eyes will become red because of complete intoxication with liquor, it is not a method of killing them. Because others die like this. So Lord Krishna, even though he made a plan like this, But Yadavas should not be killed like this. How can Yadavas should be like this? But let them be killed like this from the external point of view. But internally it should not happen. So like that. Because others die like this, it appears that they also are killed by drinking wine and scolding each other and fighting among themselves and killing each other. But it is not so. People see that they kill each other, though they cannot be killed. So Yadavas, who are the associates of Supreme Lord, they cannot be killed each other. They cannot be killed by each other. They cannot kill each other. So how can they drink wine and become intoxicated and kill each other? That is only a creation by Lord Krishna. So in that way. The real situation is made clear. When I want to make them disappear, they will disappear. Sma indicates certainly. The most actual reason will be mentioned in the next chapter, like text number 1 to 3. Those 3 slokas actually delineate the subject matter very clearly. But here some hints are shown. So just looking at Duryodhana, the way he fell down, crying and bleeding and thighs broken, Lord Krishna is making plan how to remove the loving burden of the Yadavas. So they cannot be killed by somebody else. So they should kill each other. That is the only way. But they should not kill each other because they are devotees. But somehow or other, I should make them that it appears that they are killing each other in order to start Kali Yuga. That was the whole intention. Details are mentioned in the 11th canto elaborately. So, like that. So, Lord Krishna was thinking like this. Okay, this is how they will not fight with each other, but I will create a scene that they are fighting with each other and they are killing each other, so that Kali Yuga will begin. But by my permission from Prabhas, they will go to heaven and resume their heavenly activities and continue their respectable activities. That was the overall plan of Lord Krishna. So that is mentioned in the 16th verse. Evam sanchintya bhagavan
एवं संचित्य भगवान
स्वराज्ये स्थाप्य धर्मजं
स्वराज्ये स्थाप्य धर्मजं
नन्दयाम् आस सुहृदा
नन्दयाम् आस सुहृदा
साधूनां वर्त्मदर्शयन्
साधूनां वर्त्मदर्शयन्. Lord Sri Krishna, thus thinking to himself, established Maharaj Yudhishthira in the position of supreme control of the world in order to show the ideal of administration on the path of piety.
The Lord, thinking in this way, enthroned Yudhishthira Maharaj in his kingdom, showing the devotional path. He made his friends happy. So, the battle is over. Pandavas went to Hastinapur and Yudhishthira Maharaj was made king. And then he ruled very nicely and Lord Krishna was happy in the association of Pandavas later on. So that is indicated here. Because Lord Krishna already made the plan and Gandhari cursed that this plan will become into action after 36 years. 36 years Lord Krishna has to wait. If Gandhari did not curse, Lord Krishna would have removed Yadavas much earlier. But because it is said so, okay, following the words of Gandhari, let me wait for 36 years. During that time, Lord Krishna was living happily with in the association of Pandavas and Yadavas, Dwarkavasis, etc. Any questions you are able to follow? What was mentioned in the previous 2 verses?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Okay. So basically, Lord Krishna made a plan how to remove the Yadavas. And eventually Gandhari also said so. So Lord Krishna was waiting for the right time to do that. So in between, how did he spend happily in those 36 years? That will be mentioned in the couple of verses next in this section. Uttarayam Drutapuror
उत्तरायां धृतपूर्वो
Vamsha Sadvabhimanyuna
वंशा साध्वाभिमन्युना
Savaidrauniyasra Samplushta
तवैद्रौण्यस्त्रसम्पृष्टा
Punar Bhagavata Drita.
पुनर्भगवता धृता. Translation: The embryo of Purush descendants begotten by the great hero Abhimanyu in the womb of Uttara. His wife was burnt by the weapons of the son of Drona, but the later he was again protected by the Lord.
So, after establishing Vishnu Maharaj the king, then when Lord Krishna wanted to leave Hastinapur and go to Dwaraka, that was the time Uttara came asking for protection. So Lord Krishna entering into the womb of Uttara saved Parikshit Maharaj. That is mentioned here. The heir to the Puru dynasty, Parikshit, placed in the womb of Uttara by gentle Abhimanyu. When almost destroyed by the weapon of Ashwatthama, he was saved by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So then he wanted to go. Kunti Maharani offered prayers. Then he wanted to go. Yudhishthira Maharaj came and requested him to stay for some more time. Lord Krishna stayed back. Then Lord Krishna took Yudhishthira Maharaj to Bhishma Dev, and Bhishma spoke to Yudhishthira Maharaj very nicely, and he accepted to rule over the entire kingdom. That is mentioned. And after that, Krishna went to Dwaraka. Ayajaya Dharmasutam
आयाजयात धर्मसुतम्
Ashwamedaistribirvibhu
प्रमेदयत्री विभु
Sopi Kshamam Anujai Rakshan
सो अपि क्षमा अनुजय
Krishna. And then, what else Lord Krishna did during those 36 years at Dwaraka and Hastinapur? Bhagavan api Vishwatma
भगवान
Someone please repeat. Bhagavan api Vishwatma
भगवान अपि विश्वात्मा
Loka Veda Patanuga
लोकवेदापतानुगा
Kamam Sisevedra Dvarvatyam
कामन् सिसेवे द्वारत्याम्
Asakta Sankhyamasthita.
असत्या सांख्यमास्थिता. Simultaneously, the personality of Godhead enjoyed life in the city of Dwaraka, strictly in conformity with Vedic customs of the society. He was situated in detachment and knowledge, as enunciated by the Sankhya system of philosophy.
Yeah. Bhagavan acting like the soul of the universe. Bhagavan api Vishwatma. Following the path of Vedic and popular rules. Loke Vede Pata Anuga. Veda means Vedic path and Loka means Puranic path. So Vedic path and Puranic path. Fixed in discrimination and unattached to all material objects. Asakta and Sankyam Astita. Enjoyed in Dwaraka. Dwaravatyam Kamam Ashishe. So in that way, Siseve. This verse describes the fifth and sixth qualities of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan means he who possesses six opulences. Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashasashriya Jnana Vairagyayuschaiva Sannambaga Itingana. So it's like that. So of the sixth, the fifth and sixth were Jnana and Vairagya. And these two opulences are displayed in Dwaraka. While Lord Krishna was living in Dwaraka during the 36 years while Yudhishthira Maharaj ruling in Hastinapur, he exhibited the opulence of Jnana and Vairagya. Because there was no need to have any battle anymore. There were no battles during that time. So a simple Jnana and Vairagya. Though he is Bhagavan, he acted like the soul of the universe. He is acting like Paramatma in the entire universe. Without being attached, he enjoyed objects which gave happiness presented by Indra and others, which were not forbidden by Vedic or popular rules. So Lord Krishna, since he is the Supreme Lord, everyone would come to see him and offer him gifts. And Lord Krishna would accept all the gifts which are according to Vedic literatures, according to the social custom. And he would accept them and would have them used for his seva. So that is what is indicated. And how did he do that? Asakta and Sankhya Astita. Asakta indicates Vairagya without having any attachment to those things. Sankhya indicates knowledge with proper understanding of what is what. So Lord exhibited and performed all the wonderful pastimes while he was living in Dwaraka during the 36 years with complete knowledge and complete detachment. This is how he spent his last 36 years in Dwaraka. So that is what is indicated here. Then the next verse explains that though the Lord is not attached to the actions of Maya Shakti, he is attached to the actions of Chit Shakti. From the external world point of view, he was completely always immersed in Jnana and Vairagya. But with respect to the Dwaraka Vasis, who are his eternal associates, he has lot of attachment and he was completely engaged in different pastimes with them, all the way up to the queens of Dwaraka. And they are mentioned in the next 3 verses. Next 3-4 verses talks about Lord's interactions with Dwaraka Vasis when he was in Dwaraka, the close interactions with his close associates. They are all with full of attachment. So that is what is indicated. With respect to the matter and material world, Lord is fully detached. But with respect to his own associates, Lord was fully attached. That is indicated in these verses. Text number 20-21. Snigdha smitavalokena vacha piyusha kalpaya charitre nanavadyena Srinikeetana Chatmana.
He was dead.
Ramayan Utaram Yadun Remekshana Daya Datta Krishna Stri Krishna Sauruda
He was there, his gentle body, the resonance of tune, with his usual gentle and sweet smiling face, kind words, and his plot character. 21. The Lord enjoyed time both in this world and world higher, especially in association with China. At leisure hours of the night, he enjoyed the shape of love with
by affectionate, smiling glances, sweet words, impeccable actions, and beautiful form, Lord Krishna gave pleasure to the devotees on the surface of the earth, and the Devatas, and particularly to the Yadavas. So by Lord's presence, everyone, all the human beings on the surface of the earth and all the Devatas in the Bhuvarloka and Swargaloka, and his intimate associates, everyone experienced unlimited bliss. Because Lord is so affectionate to everyone, he had smiling glances, he speaks sweet words, he performs impeccable actions, and he has a beautiful transcendental form. All these things are the source of joy for one and all who ever came in touch with Lord Krishna. And showing greatest affection for the queens by his conjugal acts at suitable times in the evening, he derived greatest pleasure. So in relation to human beings and devatas, he is the source of joy. But Lord himself experienced joy in the company of Dwaraka Vasis and queens. That is indicated here. By sweetness of 4 elements, his glances, smiling glances, smita avalokena, his sweet words, vacha piyusha kalpaya, his impeccable actions, Anavadyena Charitarena, and finally his transcendental beautiful form, Sri Niketana Chatmana. So, by the sweetness of these four elements, the glances, words, actions, and form of the Lord gave pleasure to the devotees on the earth, Imam Lokam, and the devotees in Svarga, Amam Lokam, the Devatas. Both are experiencing joy, and especially with the Yadavas. But among the Yadus, he enjoyed especially with the women. This shows greater and greater attachment. So step by step, they are increasingly experiencing more and more happiness. The normal people in general, they were experiencing one level of happiness, and the devotees and the human society, they are experiencing a little bit more, and the devotees among the devatas, they are experiencing more happiness, and then the Dwaraka men, and finally Dwaraka ladies, the queens of Lord Krishna, they experience the topmost pleasure in the company of Lord Krishna. So like that, they are gradually increasing order. So it is indicated like that. So how is that? Showing affection through a festival of conjugal actions for these women at suitable opportunities during the evening, he enjoyed. This is because these queens were actually composed of his Shakti, arising from his Sarupa. In relation to the material nature, the material world, Lord exhibited the last two opulences, Jnana and Vairagya. Whatever objects that Indra gave and other rulers on the surface of the earth gave, Lord Krishna used them, but with complete detachment. He was not attached to them. But when it comes to the pastimes in relation to the Yadavas, especially the queens, he performed every activity with intense attachment. So like that. And it is mentioned that even the Lord Krishna is the source of happiness for everyone. Himself experienced happiness in the company of the queens of Dwaraka. So like that. This can be understood from the conversation between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati in the Skanda Purana, Pravasakanda, in which the 16,000 queens are described with 10 sons each. So there Lord Shiva also, while speaking to Mother Parvati, talks about all these queens are internal energy of the Supreme Lord. They are not external energy like other human beings. They are not Tata Shakti. They are internal energy. So like that. Krishna is known as Amsha, Paramatma or Janardana. O Parvati, his 16 Shaktis are well known. He is like the moon and the Shaktis are like the phases of the moon. So this is one verse quoted in that section. It is mentioned that the Lord is indicated as Amsa, the most pure person. He is Paramatma, the super soul of everything. He is Janardana, the maintainer of all the living entities. And he had 16 Shaktis through which all the activities are performed. Because he is indifferent to material world, but his Shaktis execute his will, so that the entire world is created, maintained, and annihilated. Everything happens by the Shaktis of the Supreme Lord. You don't have to do anything in person. So like that. But in relation to his internal associates, Lord Krishna himself performs all the activities for the pleasure of the Yadavas, the Dwarakavasis. For the world, his Shaktis are able to perform all the activities. For the Dwarakavasis, he himself performs all the activities. That's how Lord Krishna treats the external energy and the internal energy. For external energy, Lord Krishna is completely in knowledge and Vairagya. Jnana and Vairagya. For internal energy, Lord Krishna personally involved in all the activities. So like that. This will be described in detail in 10th canto. 10th canto goes into more detail, etc. etc. So like that. So while he was living in Dwaraka for the 36 years, he was intimately associating with all the Dwarakavasis and especially with the queens, because he had 16,108 queens. So he was spending more time with them. So like that. This is how Lord Krishna would perform different activities in Dwaraka. So we'll just see these two slokas, 22 and 23 for today. And we'll stop with these 2 slokas. Tasaivam ramamanasya
Seva Brahmanasya
Samvastaraganam bahu
Amastaraganabhavu
Gruhamedeshu yogeshu
Brahmedesu Yogesu
Viraga samajayata.
Naga Samajayata. The Lord was thus engaged in household life for many years, but at last his detachment from physically sex life was fully unmanifested.
Enjoying in this way with his queens, he showed complete detachment, viraga samajayata, from the activities of the householder, though following the rules of karma yoga continuously for many years. Bahun samvatsara ganan. For 36 years, Lord Krishna, situated in his Dwaraka palaces, along with his queens, he would perform each and every household activity as if he was completely attached to all these activities. But he was completely detached internally. With full viraga samajayata, he performed every activity as if he has 200% of attachment to do that activity. But internally, in the core of the heart, he was completely detached from the results of those activities. He was performing all the household activities just to set a right example for the society in general. So this is how he spent 36 years in the association of Dwaraka Vasis, especially the queens. Lord Krishna showed complete indifference to the path of karma, typified by Rajoguna, in performing household activities, and to the enjoyable items offered by such household persons. So like that. So Lord Krishna was completely executed all the activities as if he had a full attachment, but he performed all the activities as a matter of duty with complete detachment. So this is how Lord Krishna spent his 36 years in Dwaraka. This continued at all times, but at this time it became very evident. So previously also he was doing all these things, but he was in between, he was going to Hastinapur, he was going to here forest, meet Pandavas who are there in Vanavas, and so many fights were happening. Lord Krishna was doing many other things also. But in these 36 years, no other things. Only homely activities at home. Nothing else to do. So like that. Now that's why it became evident now. Guneshu asango vairagyam. Vairagya means no association with the 3 gunas. So because we are empowered by 3 gunas, we are actually controlled by 3 gunas, whatever activities we perform, we become attached to them. Because Lord Krishna is not controlled by 3 gunas, he is completely detached from 3 gunas. Whatever activities he does, he is not bound by those activities. Namang karmani limpanti name karma phalas pruha. Itumyam yobi janati karmabir nasa bhatyate. Namang karmani limpanti. No activities bind me. Though I perform every activity, but they do not bind me. Because name karma phalas pruha. I do not think of enjoying the fruits of my activities. Itimam yobi janati. Those who know this, karma bir nasabadate, they are not bound by karma. So like that Lord Krishna says in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Because of this definition, there is no question of such detachment in his pastimes with Rukmini and others, which are Shuddha Sattva, beyond the material gunas. So Vairagya means no association with gunas. So neither Lord Krishna nor the queens of Lord Krishna are under the supervision of the gunas. So whatever activity that Lord Krishna performed with the queens are all the activities without any detachment. All those activities Lord Krishna actually performed with complete attachment of the spiritual nature. Because Lord Krishna himself is experiencing joy in the association of the queens. So that's the reason he was completely attached to those activities. All the activity that he was performing with in the association of the Dwaraka Vasis. So like that. For us, he performed all the activities to set a right example but with complete detachment. But for Krishna, he was executing all the activities with all the queens and Dwaraka Vasis with complete attachment, because Dwaraka Vasis are his eternal associates and they are not under the purview of three modes of material nature. So like that we have to understand. So this is the last verse. This verse explains Lord's detachment in his activities. How Lord Krishna is detached so much in his so many activities. Daivadineshu kameshu.
दैवादिनेषु कामेषु
Daivadina swayampuman.
दैवादीना स्वयं पुमान्
Ko vishrambeta yogena.
को विश्रम्भेत योगेन
Yogeshwaram anuvartata.
योगेश्वरम् अनुव्रता. Translation: every living entity is controlled by a supernatural force, and thus his sense enjoyment is also under the control of that supernatural force. No one therefore can put his faith in Lord Krishna's transcendental sense activities, but one who has become a devotee of the Lord by rendering no one can put his faith in Lord Krishna's transcendental sense activities, but one who has become a devotee of the Lord by rendering devotional service.
Namang karmani limpante name karma phale spruha itimam yobi janati. Those devotees who understand that how Lord Krishna performs all the activities in this material world as a householder, those who understands these things and by following Lord Krishna's footsteps, they will not be bound by karma. If a devotee himself following this principle is not bound by karma, not bound by three modes, how can Lord be bound by three modes? Lord is such ordinary person again. So like that this verse indicates a kind of astonishment. What man, what to speak of the Lord, knowing himself to be a jiva, subject to the control of karma, surrendering to the Lord in Bhakti Yoga, will have faith in material objects and desires and material desires which produce karma. So basically, which intelligent person who understands that one is the soul, not the material body made up of three modes of material nature, will have attachment to the objects made by the same three modes of material nature. So that is the understanding.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
1 second, Ruji, just couple of lines. We'll take questions afterwards. If the Lord has detachment from his actions, which are not subject to karma, what person will have affection for his own actions, which produce karma? If one practices Bhakti Yoga, he or she surrender to the Lord of Yoga. So basically, see, the previous verse talked about two meanings. So, for us to learn a lesson, in the association of all the Dwaraka Vasis, Lord performed so many pastimes with complete knowledge and wide attachment, and that's why he is not subjected to karma bandhan. That is what comes in the Bhagavad Gita also. But Lord Krishna and his associates are manifestation of internal potency, and Lord Krishna, though displays vairagya towards external potency, but he has so much affection for his internal potency. So he performed all the pastimes with Dwaraka Vasis and experienced intense pleasure. So like that. For us to take a lesson, Lord Krishna performing all the household activities with detachment, but Krishna himself performing all the household activities with the intention to get pleasure in the company of his Dwaraka Vasis, Dwaraka residents. So men, women, elderly parents, and finally wives. So like that. So we have to see these two things. Yes, Prabhu, you had some question. Today we are done with this.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.